Hello, and welcome. So, it's interesting to be blogging about something that happened in Finland and it was quite semi-big controversy, or so to speak. So, basically, what happened was that 29th of September, this clothes store from Somero in Finland came out with this Facebook post, and I tried my best to try to capture the in my translation. So they wrote in the Facebook something like this, something to this effect: "It is starting to be nerve-wracking bullshit, all this acceptance and forwarding, that I need to open up a little bit. I rarely preach my opinions here at the firm's own Facebook, but now I shall come clean to say that we, Letterheaven, are hetero-friendly shop." And signed, Timppa, that's the owner. So this caused quite a controversy. Isn't it interesting how nowadays gay and sexual minority rights, etc., are so often used to bully other people? And here it goes again to show that there's 2,200 reactions, 1,179 shares, and actually if we go down here, 782 comments. So to be fair, this Timppa also came up with a comment later down the line that said something to extent that no, but overall, when now someone decided to send rainbow flag to outer space, etc. bullshit, so I thought that in our store there are no rainbow flags to be seen. So this is a little bit, let's say, like I can say it's more controversial. I mean, just coming out that they are a hetero-friendly shop, there should not be much to argue about. Of course, you could leave these out, but I think the message here that was meant to be said, and what this was meant, is that they are also hetero-friendly shop. Yes, I say also, because I think that they rightfully conclude that in people's imagination, even in my imagination, if you have some kind of leather clothes selling outlet, that it would be at least I would start to think that it's gay and sexual minorities friendly. And here you can see that it's this idea of progressive stack, that because of intersectionality, because you can be oppressed by your sexual identity, you can be oppressed by your gender identity, etc., it comes to this odd place that you have more value, more power when you are, so to speak, more oppressed. And yes, in many cases, of course, you really are more oppressed, but then it's free to oppress other people who are not so much oppressed. So it's totally fine. So I mean, I'm just thinking that couldn't, like, the person who was writing the 781 comment think about that all these smart insulting comments have already been made, how about leave it alone? But no, groupthink wins and everyone needs to say something witty and mock this person and mock this shop. And a lot of people also talk about here boycotting about the shop. And this even broke the news standard. So we have Yle, which is basically like you can compare it to the British BBC. So this kind of outlet, and they wrote about it 30th of September 2016 that letter pants selling Letterheaven professed to be hetero-friendly. At its Facebook page there is an epic conversation going on, and then there's that professing to be hetero-friendly. The reason for it was apparently, they are just guessing, of course, I don't think this is the real reason, is that the United States organization sent to outer space rainbow flag. I mean, I don't think that's the original reason why he made the comment, and I'll come to my arguments for that a little bit later here. But how fast can yourself and the firm you represent image be affected with only single Facebook post? This Finnish Somero, this clothing store situated in Somero that is specialized in leather clothes, Leather Heaven owner is this political party, also the city council, and his name Timo Ilvonen, posted in the firm's Facebook page this status update where they profess to be hetero-friendly. And here you already see how these leftist, Marxist, bullying outlets and media is already painting that because this guy is from Kokoomus, which is a right-wing party. So when you are from the right, you are automatically in the wrong. You are automatically a bad person, and you need to point it out here because this is totally relevant, because it's something they hate, something that the Marxist communists hate really. So I think it really is that because you have this so-called progressive stack, that intersectionality, you can be oppressed for your sexual identity, gender identity, etc. When you have more oppression points, you can oppress people who have less oppression points. And you can see this many times, for example, when Black Lives Matter, for example, stopped in United States some gay pride and wanted to give them some they wanted to say that you basically need to do these things, but they basically kept the gay pride parade hostage because, of course, black people are even more oppressed or something, and then the gay pride there gave up and accepted their what they wanted to get out of, like some kind of demands what they wanted. So that the thing is really that this ideology gives very good rights to even cannibalize one of your own, but of course it's even easier to cannibalize someone who is actually from the, so to speak, wrong political party. And yeah, here is another comment I already read, which he commented there, which is here, which is that to profess the firm, the reason why they profess to be hetero-friendly from the comments is that, thinking about the comments, is that the United States organization Planting Peace has sent to the outer space gay pride symbol, flag symbol, rainbow flag, and the flag was sent to space 17th of August. So the thing here is that the point comes very clear. Leather Heaven is selling leather clothes, but is hetero-friendly firm. It doesn't mistreat heteros. Sexual minorities, the firm mentions in the status update in the comment that in our store there are no rainbow flags to be seen. So you can interpret it that sexual minorities are not treated there friendly. I don't know. I don't really think. I think I would almost make a bet here that they will treat every customer friendly and okay. And this is actually they are taking this stance because of larger stance in our society, larger stance in advertisement, larger stance in clothing stores, etc. And I'll come to that also after we go through this article. But yeah, it's funny that they even say you can conclude this thing, because I don't think even the writer believed that this is what they think, because it's very much illegal to mistreat some kind of group of people, sexual minorities, in some shop. So I really don't think Leather Heaven meant this, but of course, because you are a regressive leftist, You can read minds. You can know what the intention behind the words is. You don't have to ask, or you don't have to try to find out what he actually meant. You can just imply that it's the worst kind of possible comment, and people will just believe you and go throw their shit at their Facebook page. So Letterheaven status update is even now receiving a large amount of attention. At the time of writing this, it had collected 1,200 reactions and 400 comments. Some of the comments thought that the original status update was laughable and even like oppressing. Some of them defend how the firm acted or is acting. And about those comments, they are just as epic as you could think in this kind of situation. And here are some examples. I won't go through them because they are all basically the same. Some kind of witty remark that is meant to be mocking either the firm or the person who wrote it. So basically virtual signaling how good of a person I am when I am accepting of gay. So let's take one example. Pro tip, change your name to No Homo Letterheaven so no one can make a mistake. And here is 62 likes. So people really got their good feelings when they get to virtual signal and say these things, and they because it's so necessary for them to get their good feels, because they're a bunch of small children that are really emotionally unstable. So even 782, even if you read these, you can see that everything possible has been said here. So why repeat the same stupid things just to get your own good feels there? But of course, good feels trumpet any kind of facts in these kind of discussions. And Yle Bori, so Bori is a place in Finland, which I think is close to Somero, interviewed SETA, so this is kind of a sexual minority rights organization, head secretary Kerttu Tarjamo, and they told the Yle Bori journalist, hoping that Letterheaven's status update wouldn't lead to oppressing, I think, minorities. Yeah, and Tarjamo thought that what are the firm's reasons why they need to profess to be hetero-friendly shop? I will tell you that soon, but let's just go through it. So maybe it tells about that there's not enough information what the situation in Finland or what kind of oppression people are getting from their sexual orientation. Tarjamo says. Tarjamo tells they have never before heard of a shops or firms that are professed to be hetero-friendly. Are shops usually somehow hetero-unfriendly? Tarjamo is thinking. And I'll tell you, yes, they might be, but let's see. Yle Bori interviewer got in touch with Letterheaven's owner, who didn't have time to comment the situation, and I think that is the right way to go here, because it's easy to say from how this whole article is written that they would have tried to just misquote him and try to get him more shit for him, because they want the good feels and they want a lot of clickbait journalism. So what I mean is that yes, there is this progressive stack thing that if you are a heterosexual white male, it's okay to be racist and dismissing of you, and then it's expected to everyone be totally applaud gay rights, and of course people should. I want equal rights for everybody, equal human rights for gays, lesbians, heterosexuals, every kind of minority, every kind of gender, men, woman, you name it. Everyone, I want them to be treated equally. But that doesn't mean that you lift some group to be kind of a protected class and then oppress the majorities, the white heterosexual males, as it goes here. Because even BBC just announced that they were firing one white person, and he at least thinks that he's been firing because he's a white person, and BBC came out that in the future there will be more job openings for sexual minorities and other minorities like women because they want to have more of them working by the 2020, a lot more. But maybe I'll do another video about that. But let's just see, just for sakes, this is I found this H&M advertisement. There's no comments here, and there's a lot of views, a lot of likes, some dislikes. But let's just see how other clothes stores go with it. Let's just keep an open mind. See if you see anything hetero-friendly. See if you even see one hetero. I guarantee you will see everything possible under any kind of rainbow or whatever here. But do you see heteros? Do you see anything positive represented about heteros? And this is the mainstream media. How this is, how firms are now advertising, because this is the kind of thing that sells, and they don't care. They don't care if it will really much look like they are not exceptionally hetero-friendly, and that at least I, as a hetero male, would appreciate that more firms came out and also said that they also like me as a customer, that they also like to have my business, because you know, this is just about bullying. This is just about bullying people because of their beliefs and political beliefs. This has nothing to do with gay rights, because I honestly don't think that he meant that they are gonna mistreat gays or any kind of sexual minorities in their shop. But let's run with it. Fuck it, let's run with it, because we can, and we can cause harm to this shop. And I suggest, I'll conclude with this video, and I suggest that you could maybe think about, if you ever visit this Leather Heaven, buying something there to support them, because they will feel people boycotting, etc. But I think that in a way it's reasonable what they said, because I can show you here how it goes nowadays when it comes to clothes advertisement, and how it's not looking very hetero-friendly, at least in my opinion. So let's look.
She's all you'd ever want. She's the kind of like the flow and take to dinner. But she always knows her place. She's got style, she's got grace. She's a winner. She's a winner. She's a lady. Oh, she's a lady. Talking about that little lady. And the lady is mine. She's never in the way, always something nice to say. What a blessing, what a blessing. I can leave her on her own, knowing she's okay alone. That's no message. She's a lady. Oh, she's a lady. Talking about that little lady. And the lady is mine.
And this is really why I do this. I wanna point out the hypocrisy of this all, because I've already done also videos about protecting right to express political beliefs for trans people as well. So I have video about white player being bullied because of her political beliefs, and I'll continue doing this because this can't stand. This is just pathetic. This is just big news outlet trying to give a bad kind of publicity to a firm, and maybe even if I'm very generous, maybe like if I'm trying to be generous to both sides of this argument, of course, so maybe this Timppa said a little bit frogs out of his mouth, but nothing to have this kind of attention, nothing to get this kind of a reaction, nothing to justify this kind of bullying, and these people should be really ashamed. They should be really ashamed. If they can't add anything to the conversation, they'll just say something, another witty thing to attack or bash this shop, then it doesn't really take the conversation anywhere. And that's about it. So thank you again, and please think about supporting Letter Heaven, because this kind of thing is just ridiculous and outright bullying, nothing more.